this afternoon. We will find out in 21 laps time. However, the problem they both have is they have to get past Jumping Jack Doohan. The Australian, also for Ricky Flynn Motorsport, is on the left of your screen. There is the pole sitter. He's had a brilliant run and he lines up on pole position courtesy of 3 heat wins here this weekend. 214 for Ricky Flynn Motorsport. Thompson, the outside of the front row, also for RFM. Johnny Edgar on the second row of the grid, 216. The second, in fact, the third generation racer. Edgar leads the series coming into this final round. There is Mr. Thompson. Harry from Northern London in England. The only driver that can beat Edgar to the title. Edgar in 216. There he is, championship leader, of course, from the Rowra Club in Great Britain. His grandfather, Terry Edgar, started racing way back in 1963. He was, in fact, the 1977 British champion. His father, Justin, 4 times a British champion. There's Hugo Sass, the German. He qualified fastest on Friday. So he's actually a 3rd generation racer. And his uncle Jason, 2 times British champion as well. So it certainly runs in the Edgar family. And he may well write his name into history here this afternoon. Forza Racing versus Ricky Flynn Motorsport, with the German Hugo Sass for CRG thrown in the mix as well. We will go through the grid for you. Jumping Jack leads the field out. He will start this one on pole position as he did a week ago. He will look to take a win here out of Sweden. Thompson out of 2, Edgar out of 3. They are fighting for the championship. Sass, Yutsimis, Rosso, Patterson, Cass Havercourt, Chris Lullum, and Ellie Goldstein from Belgium, of course, the grandson of the legendary 5-time world champion, Francois Goldstein. Marcelia Morozov on the podium 7 days ago. Lomko, Stanek, Metatal, Pizzotto, Bortoletto, Hadrian David, Alex Catalas, he's been impressive. The driver from Singapore starts out at grid 19. He is alongside Gillian Henry on. The 2 Swedes, Anderson, Kristianstad, Chiviko, O'Sullivan, Sagrera, Polaron from Estonia, Francesco Pizzi in the Lenzo Kart, Boya, Kickenberg, Dino Beganovic, the second Brazilian driver. Faria alongside Coluccio, who scrapes into the final. Antoine Potti, the VDK Racing. And on grid number 34, Elias Seppänen from just over the border in nearby Finland. So Doohan on pole position. Ricky Flynn Motorsport dominating the front row of the grid. Thompson in contention for the title. Doohan not. He just wants to win on a very wet track here in Sweden. We will go around one more time. Hadrian David, the Frenchman, is actually 3rd in the championship. The Zanardi Kart team driver starts on the 9th row of the grid alongside the Brazilian Bortoletto. O'Neill Muth also for Zanardi Kart along with David, he's 4th in the series. And Jack Doohan currently claims 5th in the series. A win here this afternoon and he may well come 3rd in the 2017 European Championship. The fight is on for the title. Finn Keneally of Great Britain won in 2016. It will be an English European Championship again in 2017. Will it be the Englishman Edgar or Mr. Thompson? We will find out in 21 laps time. Jumping Jack leads the field around. Thompson also for Ricky Flynn Motorsport on the outside of the front row. He must win here this afternoon to take the title. Doohan wants to win. He can't claim the championship, but he can end the series on a high. Here we go. The junior championship is on the line. And we go around yet again one more time. Something of an anticlimax, but the nerves. You can feel the tension here in Sweden. They come up over the rise. There's Rasmus Jutsimis from Finland. You can see the Finnish flag on his helmet. He's been pretty impressive in the 2.60. The FA Cup powered by the Perilla all weekend, coming off his home event just 7 days ago in neighbouring Finland. We will try one more time. We are in the hands of the race director, the ever-experienced Mr. Nigel Edwards. The 34 drivers are under his control. This is the original part of the Kristianstad circuit here in Sweden. This is the final corner. Doohan on pole position. There is the young Australian with the Brit, Mr. Thompson, on the outside of the front row. We go green. And Doohan leads them down into the first corner. Thompson sweeps around the outside. He almost tried to take his teammate. Edgar slots into P3, the championship contenders, running second and third. Doohan leads the opening lap of the race, but he's gone wide. He will get the run on the exit, though. Thompson will try and slide it up the inside. He himself is not attacked by Edgar. Good start by Hugo Sass, the German, in P4, ahead of Rasmus Jutsimis. So Edgar in P3. Oh, Thompson goes up the inside. Doohan back to second. The Ricky Flynn Motorsport teammates trade positions. Doohan up over the ripple strip, tries to respond, and he does. Jumping Jack gets one back. Thompson, second place. Team tactics from the RFM team drivers, very unlikely here this afternoon. Doohan starts to skip away. Edgar still sits there in P3 as Rasmus Jutsimis goes past and takes Hugo Sass for fourth. Edgar and Thompson, these two drivers are fighting for the title, and Thompson almost put Edgar into the grass. The field come across the line for the first time. A good start by Andrea Rosso in the factory Tony Kart. The boy from the 2006 Winter Olympic city of Torino, he is up into sixth position. Cass Havercourt, Dexter Patterson, Ellie Goldstein, Roman Stanek, they round out the top 10. Sass retakes the Finn. Rasmus Jutsimis, the CRG and the FA Kart. And immediately Rasmus responds. The FA Karts, they're actually running 1, 2 and 4. As Sass pushes the Finn out the way. Let's see if Rosso can capitalise, take advantage of it. He tries the outside line. Doohan starting to skip away. Thompson in second spot. But if Edgar finishes right there, the Englishman will claim the title. The Englishman Edgar versus Mr. Thompson. Doohan across the line, let's check the gap. Oh, it's out to 1 second. Doohan with the fastest lap of the race as down the inside goes Roman Stanek on Rasmus Jutsimis. The rest of the field pour through. Catalyst, Chivico, Sagrera, Beganovic, Aron, Colucci, Ponti, Anderson, Pizzi, Christiansen, Kickenberg. All 34 starters are still circulating here this afternoon. A line is starting to develop. I won't call it a dry line, but it is a clean line, if we can call it that. Doohan with 1 second, back to Thompson, who looks behind him. Johnny hasn't gone anywhere. He just needs to stay glued to the back of the RFM bumper. In fact, he goes through on the inside, goes too deep. Thompson takes him back. If Edgar stays in P3, he will claim the European Championship. The yellow flag is out because we have just lost the Scot Dexter Patterson. You just got a glimpse. The Forza Racing Kart, his teammate, meanwhile, goes through. Edgar up into second. What can Thompson do about it? He needs to get past him. He needs to win. And in a sporting sense, he needs a disaster for Thompson. Hugo Sass, the German, the fastest qualifier, closes in P4. The German does not care less what the drivers from the British Commonwealth are doing. They're running 1, 2, 3 at the moment. He just wants to win here this afternoon, and he's only a few tenths of a second from mounting the podium. Rosso in P5, Havercourt, Utsimis, Chris Lullum, also from London in England for Piers Sexton Racing. He holds down P8. Roman Stanek 9 and Ilya Morotsov, who was on the podium second last week in Finland, rounds out the 10. Up the inside goes Thompson. Edgar will try and cut back, but he's got nowhere to go. Good try by Thompson. Hugo Sass watches on. Can he put the CRG in this as well? The final corner, I'll try and build up the engine RPM. That'll cost him a little bit, just kissing the ripple strip, unsettling it. There goes the race leader, Jack Doohan. 2.2 seconds last time. It's out to 3.1 seconds. Jumping Jack with an enormous lead. He flashes by his Ricky Flynn Motorsport teammate, Harry Thompson, in second, Edgar in third. And if he stays there, he will claim the European Championship for 2017. Sass is fourth. Then we go back to Rosso, the Italian, starting to catch the German just slightly. Edgar and Thompson, good clean racing from the two British drivers. Ricky Flynn Motorsport and Jamie Croxford's Forza Racing. Of course, we do go to England September 24 for the OK and OK Junior World Championships. Do you think the British teams will be a force at their home circuit? You bet. Hugo Sass, meanwhile, the German in the CRG, fastest qualifier on Friday night. TB Racing. There is the championship. Edgar looking good to claim the title in 2017. A win here this afternoon. We'll see Doohan third in the series. Here goes Jose Boyer. Gillian Henry on. O'Sullivan, Catalyst, the Singaporean. There's the lead from Doohan. Thompson looks behind. He's pulled out from Edgar. Sass nervously under brakes. This is quarter race distance right about there. Cas Havercourt, the Dutch driver, also doing a good job in the CRG. Has pulled away from Roman Stanek, Chris Lullum, Morotsov, Utsimis is back in 10th position, one spot ahead of Ellie Goldstein. David Marcella, Bortoletto, Bizzotto rounds out the top 15. The only retirement is the Scott Dexter Patterson for Forza Racing. There's Doohan. The gap last time, 3.0 seconds. Down to 2.4. So Thompson took half a second out of his Australian teammate last time round. They come up over the rise. Back to Edgar. Sass has dropped off just a little bit. One of the VDK racing carts running very wide. That was Jules Metatal. You just saw him rejoin out on the grass. The yellow flag is out. An incident also involving Faria, the second of the Brazilian drivers. Edgar, the fastest first sector last time round, starts to close in on Thompson. He doesn't need to win this. He doesn't even need to finish on the podium here this afternoon to claim the 2017 European Championship. As it stands, he will win it comfortably by 17 points, in fact. There is the race leader, Doohan. Oh, it's down to 1.8 seconds. Mr. Thompson is catching Jumping Jack. The RFM teammates. Thompson over the ripple strip, through the chicane. Quarter race distance right now. Up over the rise they come. The track is starting to dry ever so slightly. The conditions are changing. 2:14 is Doohan, 2:15 is Thompson. National champion Jack Doohan in his home country last year. Made numerous trips back and forth from the other side of the world. Based in southern France for 2017, has been quick, has been on the podium in the WSK Supermaster Series earlier on the series. Has captured numerous heat wins. Dominated the final last week in Finland up until lap 14 when this driver, Johnny Edgar, pulled out an amazing move and passing coming out from under the bridge. Doohan finishing off the podium. He was very disappointed with that, but he's doing everything right here this afternoon. Thompson just starting to pull away a little bit. The gap between the two RFM drivers is 1.7 seconds. There's Doohan, there's Thompson, there's Edgar. Sass has certainly dropped off the pace. The German in fourth, Rosso P5, Havercourt still holds down P6. The field's starting to spread out. The track is very, very slowly starting to dry. There is a clean line that does not have standing water on it, the actual racing line. Get off that. And the H2O starts to spray. Doohan goes through. There is Thompson. Father Chris nervously watching on. Edgar closes in on the back. As we mentioned, Edgar, a third generation racer. Everyone in the United Kingdom cheering for either one of these two boys, Thompson or Edgar. Certainly, we know the Railway Kart Club are right behind the Englishman, Johnny, up there in the Lakes District. Grandfather Terry started racing way back in 1963. And even though his grandfather was 1977 British champion, his biggest claim, or the fact he's most happy about, is the fact that he beat one time Mike Wilson, the the six-time world champion. He regards that as his greatest achievement rather than the 1977 British title. If his grandson Johnny can pick up the European Championship this afternoon, that will be an even bigger feat still. An international title. He holds down P3. Dicing there with Thompson. A moment ago, it looked as though he was going to make a move. Again, gets the run, but Thompson with the wider line. The track is changing by the lap here. The gap 1.8 seconds between the two RFM cars. Let's check it this time. There's Doohan. There's Thompson. 1.79, so virtually the same. Edgar just works the wheel. That Esprit chassis. TM powered. The team run by former racer Jamie Croxford, who himself was a top international driver. Among their former pilots, they count Billy Munger, who was in the news for all the wrong reasons recently, but it's great to see Billy back behind the wheel. Billy cheering on young Johnny as well, back in the United Kingdom. Billy Munger formerly racing with Forza Racing and Jamie's team. And Johnny looking good to take out the European Championship. He closes in behind Thompson. They're lapping still in the 1:05 as Edgar goes through on the inside and takes Thompson for second. He didn't need to do that. He didn't need to pass him, but he did anyway. He will be wide. Can Thompson respond? That'll give Doohan a little bit of breathing space. Thompson responds immediately. They go side by side down into turn number one. The two English drivers fighting for the championship here this afternoon. And what that has done has given Doohan a full 1 second advantage. They retake the positions. They're side by side. They come up over the right. Thompson in second. Edgar 1 second. He wants to secure the championship in style. He retakes Thompson. The RFM drivers running 1 and 3. They know each other oh so well. They've raced all over the United Kingdom, wheel to wheel, for the best part of half a decade. Here they are on the continent, in the Scandinavian nation of Sweden, fighting for the 2017 European Championship. Thompson, he's almost helpless. If he cannot do something spectacular, he will finish second in the series. Edgar, third is good enough, but he's running in second. He is going to claim the European Championship if he finishes right where he is right now. The gap was 1.7 seconds. Then it was 2.4 seconds. Now between Doohan and Edgar, it's 3.3 seconds. The Australian is pulling away from the two English drivers. Sass still holds down P4. Can he drag himself into this battle? Havercourt up to P5. Stanek, 6th. They have both got past Andrea Rosso, the Italian. Back to 7th ahead of Lala, Morozov, David, rounding out the 10. That pass has given another 3 potential points in the series to Edgar. He does this every race, doesn't he? He's one of the most intelligent young drivers. He just waits and waits. Plenty of opportunities. He's very, very patient. When the time is right, he leaves it. And he waits again. And then he makes the move and just disappears up the road. Look at the gap he's already put on Harry Thompson. Now let's see if he can catch the race leader Doohan. It was 3.3 seconds between the Australian and the 2 English drivers. 3.4, Doohan puts another 10th on him. It goes Sass, Havercourt, Stanek, Rosso, Lullum, Morozov, Hadrian David in the Zanardi Kart, his teammate Marcella. Gillian Henryon comes across the line, head of Zach O'Sullivan, Rasmus Itsimis. Back in 15th, Boyer, Goldstein, Beganovic, Aaron, Bortoleto, Catalyst, the Singaporean, rounds out the 20. Dexter Patterson and the French driver Jules Metatal, the sole retirements from this one. Edgar is pulling away from Thompson. Thompson from Northern London, nothing he can do. And I can tell you the black flag has just been issued also for the Finnish driver Rasmus Itsimis, who started so promisingly. The 260 Kart has been given the black flag and will be forced out of this one, leaving us with 31 of the original 34 starters, which is pretty impressive given the treacherous conditions here at Kristianstad in southern Sweden. So the race leader Doohan, the gap is down to 3.1 seconds. Edgar is catching him ever so slowly. He's certainly got enough time with 2/3 of the race done. There are still 7 laps to go. The Ricky Flynn Motorsport team drivers sandwich the Forza Racing team entry. Will Edgar try and take the win this afternoon? He knows Thompson's behind him. If he does manage to catch Doohan, will he settle for second place, or will he try and make the move and take his 3rd win of the European season? Doohan desperately wants to win here this afternoon. Head down behind the steering wheel. This has been an impressive drive. Fastest in his group in qualifying. 3 heat wins from 4 starts. We don't need to introduce you to his legendary father, the 5-time 500cc world motorcycle champion Mick, who's nervously watching on here trackside in Kristianstad, along with his mother Selena. Their boy looking to stand on the top step of the podium. If he can hold on for another 6 laps. The Australian flag has not been on the top of the podium in a CIK international competition since Joey Mawson in Bahrain back in 2012. Before that, we have to go a long way back to Ben Horseman at Monaco. And before that, we're talking the 1990s. Ryan Briscoe, James Courtney, and even John Targett. Doohan looking to uphold that fine tradition, but he still has to hold on for the remaining 5 laps. The gap last time was 3.1 seconds. Edgar, there he is, the champion-elect, looks behind him. He has certainly dropped Thompson off the radar. It's down to 2.7 seconds. He just took 0.3 of a second out of Jumping Jack. Thompson, if anything, is coming under pressure from Hugo Sass. There's Gillian Henryon coming through in the baby race Tony Kart. Marcella, Zach O'Sullivan in another of the RFM machines. Boyer looking for a little bit of wet bitumen to try and keep those Vega tyres alive. They're still lapping in the 1:05 on a very damp and slippery track. Doohan, a slight look behind him. Edgar, 2.7 seconds further back behind. Thompson is now under pressure from Hugo Sass, the German. Rosso's still doing a pretty good job in position 7, ahead of another English driver, Christopher Lullum. So there is Johnny Edgar Coming down into turn number 1. There are 4 laps to go, even less now. The gap down to 2.2 seconds. Edgar is catching Doohan. Ricky Flynn Motorsport versus Jamie Croxford's Forza Racing. Australia versus Great Britain. How many times have we heard that phrase in world sport? We are seeing it again here now this afternoon in the Scandinavian nation of Sweden. Thompson still on the podium. A good lap from Harry last time round puts a little bit of space between himself and the fastest qualifier on Friday night, the German Hugo Sass. In the CRG, there is Doohan. Still continues to lead. 3 laps to go, this nail-biting final. Johnny Edgar will take the championship if he holds on to second place, but he wants to win, so does Doohan. The gap was 2.2 seconds, it's down to 1.9. Edgar is catching Doohan. Thompson in third. There is Sass, the German in P4, 1 step off the podium. He also deserves a result this weekend after a superb display throughout qualifying in the heats. But unless something happens to one of the drivers from the British Commonwealth in front of him, he will miss the podium by 1 position. Edgar for Forza Racing. Doohan over the ripple strip, wheeling that cart on. Edgar looking at the title, of course, he's the 2015, or he was the 2015 Florida Winter Tour champion. He also took out the Las Vegas race that same year. He won the Swedish championships, we mustn't forget that, at this very circuit 2 weeks ago. From Aspey in Cumbria, the Lakes District in Northern England. He's looking at a European Championship. He has a long look behind him. Down to 1.6 seconds, so just a 10th out of Jack that time. Thompson, Sass, that's Cas Havercourt, the Dutchman. He qualified on pole at the first round of the series in Italy way back in April. Up over the rise they go. 2 laps now remain. Doohan gets off the throttle, lets the cart do the work, lets it slide, gets the power down very, very evenly. And I can tell you, out the window of our commentary position, not only is the sun about to come out, the track is drying, but more importantly than that, Edgar is catching Jack. The last lap board is about to come out for the driver on screen, 2:14. Heads into the hairpin for the penultimate time. He has been oh so close throughout the entire 2017 season. 1.6 seconds last time around. He's put a 10th on Edgar. Edgar won't care. He will claim the European Championship if he finishes right there. This is the final lap of the race. The European Championship title decider. Thompson will finish second in the series. The Englishman is helpless. He cannot get past, he cannot do anything about his countryman Edgar, who it must be said has been superb throughout 2017. X3 looking at winning the European Championship. This is the race winner potentially if he can hold on for another few hundred meters. Into the tight technical part of the circuit. Goes wide. The final few corners. Father Mick, Mother Selena nervously watching on. The final hairpin for the final time. The checkered flag comes out. It's going to be Jumping Jack Doohan, who wins the European Championship final for Australia here in Sweden. Edgar across the line. The Englishman has just claimed the European Championship for 2017. Thompson across the line in P3. Nothing he can do about it. Third on the podium, second in the series. The day belongs to Edgar. The day belongs to Doohan. The year belongs to Edgar. A nail-biting series finale here in Scandinavia, here in Sweden. Hugo Sass just misses the podium by a single spot. Havercourt was 5th. And we only had the 3 retirements out of that race. We take a look at a replay. Look how wet it was at the start of the race 21 laps ago. Edgar from grid 3. A good start by the Forza Racing Team driver. Very intelligent young driver. That's why he's just claimed the 2017 championship. And pulled away initially, and they would not stop him. Thompson and Edgar, this was nervous stuff. They went wheel to wheel for almost the entire race. Sass, Yutsimis, who ultimately retired. Good drive by Sass, finishing 1 step off the podium. Edgar and Thompson went wheel to wheel. Thompson needed to win, and he needed disaster for Edgar in order to claim the title. That did not happen. Despite the best efforts of Harry, he would finish on the podium. 3rd here today, but 2nd in the series. Another podium for Edgar. And he claims the 2017 European Championship. Thompson gave it his best shot, actually pulled past Edgar earlier on. They went wheel to wheel for much of the race. Edgar, as we mentioned, one of the most patient drivers in the junior class. Very intelligent young man, very intelligent driver, but nobody could stop Jumping Jack. Doohan takes the win. Edgar 2nd, and with that, he is the European Junior Champion for 2017. We check the results for you here on a rapidly drying Kristianstad circuit. Look at the championship. Edgar, the champion for 2017. Thompson 2nd, and with that win today, Doohan 3rd in the title chase for the year. So the win goes to Jumping Jack. Johnny, the Englishman, Edgar, 2nd on the day, but the year belongs to the Forza Racing Team pilot. Congratulations also to Harry Thompson. He gave it everything throughout 2017. Another podium. He finishes 3rd today and 2nd in the series. Sass was 4th, Havercourt 5th, Starnek 6th. Good drive by Chris Lullen for Pierce Sexton Racing. Another driver from London in England inside the top 10. He was 7th, getting past Rosso, Morozov, and the French driver David rounding out the 10. So the day belongs to Doohan, the year belongs to Edgar. We will hear the Australian national anthem ring out here in Sweden here this afternoon. British drivers finish 2nd and 3rd, and Edgar is the new European Junior Champion. We will be back with the podium presentation in just a few moments. So drivers from the British Commonwealth, 1st, 2nd and 3rd here in the Scandinavian nation of Sweden, a week after we raced in Finland, the Power Park circuit in Alaharma. I can see the winner making his way up to the top step of the podium, along with the new European champion. And this is Johnny Edgar, as well as Harry Thompson, who gave it everything he had here this afternoon. The track is drying for our 3rd and 4th finals. And we're just about ready to get underway with our 2nd podium presentation here this afternoon. So we just wait for the team manager, Ricky Flynn, who adds another title to his very impressive resume. Representing the winning team, Ricky Flynn Motorsport. 2 drivers on the podium here this afternoon, including the race winner. Of course, I'm talking about Jumping Jack. See him on the podium in a minute, and I hate to tell you, we're just getting a few drops of rain here down on the podium here in Sweden. Jack Doohan, race winner, with his parents Mick and Selena here to see their boy win the biggest race of his career here in this Scandinavian nation. And we're ready to get underway with the podium presentation. He gave it everything, not only today, but throughout the entire 2017 European Series. Third place in the race today from England for Ricky Flynn Motorsport, Harry Thompson. Second in the race today and the new European champion. Let's hear it for Johnny, the Englishman, Edgar. He's come so close so many times. Finally, he stands on the top step of the podium. The winner here in Sweden, it's Jumping Jack Doohan. And representing the winning team, Ricky Flynn Motorsport, Mr. Ricky Flynn. As we stand by for the national anthem of Australia. The podium for the final race of the Junior European Championship. And with that, I would like to ask Mr. Christopher Lindberg, Secretary of the Swedish Karting Commission, to present the third place trophy to England's Harry Thompson. Stefan Andersson, Chairman of the Board of the Swedish Karting Commission, to present the second place trophy to the new European champion. And second place in the race today, it is Johnny Edgar. And the Vice President of the CIK FIA, Mr. Kees van der Grint, to present the trophy to the race winner here today, here in Sweden. Let's hear it for Jumping Jack Doohan. And Mr. Magnus Hedman, representing the Kristianstad Karting Club, to present the winning team's trophy to Ricky Flynn of Ricky Flynn Motorsport. As the girls step in to present the flowers to Harry, Johnny and Jack. And we stand by for the champagne. The girls also to make the special presentation of the Avio Milano time prizes and the Panta fuel vouchers to Harry, Johnny and Jack. And we have a quick word with, firstly, third place, Harry Thompson. Harry, first of all, congratulations on a fantastic 2017 series. You gave it everything in the race today, but just couldn't quite do anything about the drivers in front of you.
Well, yeah, we had the pace in the dry, but didn't quite seem to have it in the wet. But we still try. The year goes on, and we'll see what happens in future races.
Congratulations, Harry. You should be very proud of yourself, mate. Second place, the third generation racer. This is the new European champion, Johnny the Englishman, Edgar. Johnny, another brilliant drive. Second place here today. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm very happy to win the championship. I wanted to win today, but it was more about the championship, so I didn't want to crash.
Anything to say about your team?
I'd like to thank Forza Racing, GFR Engines, my mechanic, my family, and everyone else that's helped me.
Congratulations, a title well deserved. Step up to the top step of the podium. Jumping Jack, mate, we have waited a long time to see that flag on the top step of the podium. You've come very close so many times. Finally, you have won a European Championship race. How do you feel?
Yeah, it's a really good feeling. And we came really close last week in Finland, putting on pole for the final, but just didn't quite get on the podium. But then this race, first overall in the qualifying heats and first in the final. It's been a really good job. The team have been pushing for this result for a while. Thanks to my family, everyone that's got me over here, especially from moving to Australia for this year. It's been a big call for them. So thank you very much.
Well done, Jack. This is our podium here this afternoon, here in the Swedish summer. The race winner, Jack Dew, and the new European champion, Johnny Edgar. And congratulations, third in the race today, second in the series, Mr. Thompson. This is Harry, third here today in Sweden. 2 finals down, 2 here remain at Kristianstad in Sweden.